Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jada's worst marriage agony. Xander's twist for Rafe. Days of Our Lives reveals that Xander Cook showed Sarah Horton his findings since the striped consistence on the track pants in the surveillance footage didn't match up with Xander's own jogging suit. Xander showed Sarah filmland to compare and proved that the suspect in the footage was wearing a developer track suit that bring a fortune, unlike Xander's cheap track pants that you could get anywhere. After Sarah praised Xander's brilliance, they headed to the Salem PD so that they could give Rafe Hernandez updates on Xander's discovery. In Rafe's office, he made plans to visit the cantina with Jada Hunter, but he told her that he'd meet her there since he demanded to take a phone call. Once Jada left on Day's occasion, Rafe got some shocking news over the phone and claimed this could get unattractive. After Xander stopped by with Sarah to explain the track pants situation, Rafe admitted this could be good for Xander and pledged to get right on it in the morning. Xander returned home with Sarah feeling hopeful and thanked her for no way distrusting his innocence. At the cantina. On Wednesday's DOOL show, Everett Lynch aka Bobby Stein admitted that he saw himself smiling during hypnotism, but he knew that interpretation of him was different. Everett plotted to explain it to Stephanie Johnson and admitted he didn't tell Marlena Evans since he suddenly just wanted to get out of there. When Jada arrived, she mocked Everett and Stephanie for picking up right where they left off since they were at a table together. Stephanie filled Jada in on Everett's hypnotism, so Jada allowed. She had a right to know what he saw during his session. Everett said he saw himself smiling, so Jada allowed. That sounded like some classic Bobby narcissistic BS. Although Stephanie pushed Jada to try having some compassion, Jada said she'd pass on that. While Jada was at the bar, Everett told Stephanie that he loved her and felt confident that they could work through their complicated obstacles. Once Rafe joined Jada and admitted his counsel chum from Seattle had been probing for him, he revealed that Jada's divorce papers were no way duly filed. Jada looked affrighted as Rafe claimed she was fairly still Mrs. Robert Stein. At the bistro on Wednesday's Day's occasion, Ava Vitale cooked an Italian mess for Harris Michaels, who assured Ava that she was everything he wanted and demanded in a woman. Harris turned on the charm and danced with Ava, who forgave his two left bases since she allowed. He was perfect in every other way. Although Harris assumed Ava would renew the eatery, Ava shut down that idea since that place destroyed her life. Ava wasn't sure what she'd do next, but she felt she'd figure commodity out, commodity licit this time around. At home on Wednesday's Day's occasion, Wendy Shin kept wanting to check the locked door and was easily traumatized by the hijacking fire. Trip Johnson tried to distract Wendy with a game of Jenga and some beer in the blackjacks that Joey Johnson transferred them. Wendy cracked up smashing the palace over and had a fear attack, so Trip calmed her down and apologized for driving her with the smell of the beer. There was also some talk about their new marriage in prison, but Trip and Wendy eventually agreed that they would last if they were meant to be. That's why Wendy and Trip decided to go back to the way they missed and not worry about the marriage part for now. Days of Our Lives say Wendy will continue to struggle due to her trauma, so we'll bring you prognostications on how this will affect her love with Trip. Xander's substantiation, Jada's unbelief, Wendy's trauma. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, April 3rd indicate that Xander Cook and Sarah Horton will present their substantiation to clear Xander's name. Jada Hunter cannot believe Stephanie Johnson's defenses for Everett Lynch. Trip Johnson realizes that Wendy Shin is traumatized. Xander Cook believes he can prove his innocence. Xander has been trying to prove that he didn't shoot Harris Michaels. Harris knows exactly who shot him but refuses to give up the verity. Still, Xander has set up a distinction in the description of the shooter's jogging clothes that he believes will clear his name. Xander will partake this with Sarah before taking the information to Rafe Hernandez. Xander's information should be enough to clear his name, but will Rafe believe him? Harris could have made this so much easier by telling the verity, but he promised he wouldn't. As a police officer, you would suppose he'd want to make sure to clear an innocent man. It seems that guarding Ava Vitale is more important. Will Xander eventually be cleared? Days of Our Lives spoilers. Jada Hunter just as ain't buying it. Jada wants Everett/Bobby to pay for how he treated her when they were married. It seems that Everett can get Stephanie to believe anything he has to say about his knowledge and his colorful personalities. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Xander's substantiation, Jada's unbelief, Wendy's trauma. Still, that doesn't mean that Jada is buying what he's dealing. None of this was an issue when they were together. Jada doesn't watch how numerous people are living in Everett's head these days. Everett hurt her and he needs to pay for the damage he has done. Jada also blames Stephanie for not seeing the signs that Everett was married. Jada seems to be letting her problems with Everett get way out of hand. How far will Jada go to make Everett pay? Days of Our Lives. Trip Johnson grows concerned about Wendy's shin trip, and Wendy returned home after all of their release from the sanitarium. Wendy and Trip nearly failed in the brewery but were eventually saved. Trip allowed that everything with Wendy was okay and that they could go home and be fine. Still, Trip is a croaker. And he's beginning to suppose he was wrong. Trip may have been slow to realize it, but he's beginning to see that Wendy is traumatized by their experience and could need some professional help. Should Wendy have a converse with Marlena Evans? Does Wendy need to work through what happened so they can get on with the rest of their lives? Elia Cantu on Everett and Jada's future. Love and passion amid rage. Days of Our Lives. Everett Lynch's sudden reappearance. DOL spoilers reveal that when Everett showed up in Salem, Stephanie was fully blindsided. This was the same man who wormed Stephanie many times ago when she lived in Seattle. It caused a lot of issues for Stephanie, which she projected onto Chad DiMera when they were romantically involved. Now Jada and Everett have eventually faced each other. While Everett claims not to know Jada, she clearly knows him. Jada indeed handed a print as evidence that they were married. DOL spoilers. Stephanie Johnson's confusion. Stephanie broke up with Everett but has remained civil. Stephanie wants answers and was there for Everett when he went to the sanitarium to get some tests. Now Everett is going to be fascinated by Marlena Evans. Days of Our Lives. Jada Hunter's rage. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Jada has been twisting over the Everett situation. Everett claiming not to know Jada or flash back anything about their olives together is just making the operative indeed matter. Also, Jada sees Stephanie and Everett sitting together. Stephanie isn't romantically involved with Everett presently. In fact, Stephanie's meeting with Everett was about her decision to terminate the contract with The Spectator. So, Jada exploding at Stephanie about her psychopathic relationship is really going too far. Elia Cantu on Everett and Jada's future. Love and passion amid rage. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Jada Hunter's history is now facing her present. Jada is reeling over Everett Lynch being in Salem. Now Jada knows that Everett cheated on her with Stephanie Johnson. With Everett claiming not to have some of his recollections, Jada's wrathfulness continues to make. What's intriguing is what actress Elia Cantu had to say about Jada and Everett's dynamic. So, keep reading and let's progeny started agitating this plot. Days of Our Lives. Everett Lynch's sudden reappearance. DOL reveal that when Everett showed up in Salem, Stephanie was fully blindsided. This was the same man who wormed Stephanie many times ago when she lived in Seattle. It caused a lot of issues for Stephanie, which she projected onto Chad DiMera when they were romantically involved. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Elia Cantu on Everett and Jada's future. Love and passion amid rage. Now Jada and Everett have eventually faced each other. While Everett claims not to know Jada, she clearly knows him. Jada indeed handed a print as evidence that they were married. DOL spoilers. Stephanie Johnson's confusion. Stephanie broke up with Everett but has remained civil.